Hi, hello. So, what do you think about Disclosure Day trailer? First of all, bear with me, I'm not English mother tongue, so please, I excuse if my English is not so perfect. And secondly, I think it was very interesting the coincidences of the timing, right? Because on one side of the ocean, we had Putin in a press conference, and a lovely lady, a journalist, she asked him a very precise question. Please go and check it out on the internet. It went viral more than before Christmas, and the reply that Putin gave to her, I found it, very extraordinary, right? And on the other hand, we have a mainstream movie director, Steven Spielberg, coming out with this trailer on a movie that will be in theaters in 6 months here in Europe, not before June. So I think, hey, wow, so much in advance. Why? And why these two messages, let's say, together in the same timing, is with a couple of days difference. I don't believe in coincidences, so I try to understand the reason why certain information are coming out in the same time, right? Anyway, then I was really surprised by the fact that the two main stars we see on this trailer are basically British, right? Because they're two very well-known English actors. But anyway, I found it strange in a movie by Steven Spielberg there were no real American superstar. But anyway, concerning the theme of the trailer, well, first of all, I found it very interesting the deer scene observes stare at the humans. You know, I always thought that nature will survive us all, so maybe the animals will save us in the end, us intended as the human beings. And beautiful, beautiful scene, very magic, let's say, really struck my attention. And then we have this Emily Blunt scene with what I could see as a sort of channeling, you know? So, first, nature staring at human beings, then this eerie voice, this channeling message, and then we have the scene where we have humans passing in front of somebody, and then the same human beings are different. So what could be a shape-shifting moment, and also the scene when Colin Firth is inside a sort of machine with a bite on his teeth. So that's, and the color of his eyes is changing, no? From, so that I could see that as an hybrid in creation. So what can I say? I think that Steven Spielberg is trying to acclimatize, well, he was surely asked to do this movie, to prepare the population to certain topics that those who did dive know, right? But I think is a sort of acclimatizing, of preparing the masses to certain concept that somebody said they're maybe walking among us since ever. So about these hybrid beings, and but the voice was very interesting. So I thought right away to a channeling moment. I don't know if you have ever ever happened to be in front of somebody like, you know, this. So that's a channeling to me with their voice. But anyway, so basically somebody else was communicating through her human bodies to provide certain messages. So I think on one side, for sure, the shadow governments ruling this universe are ready now in 2026, I think, to expose, to disclosure part of those truths we've always known. But unfortunately, this truth, at least where I live in this in Europe, they are very well covered up by the Vatican. Try and get into the Vatican archives. Say, hey, can you do a Vatican Open Day for us all to show us all the documents you allegedly you hold on the alien? Good luck. And on the other side, by the Freemasons. The Freemasons, they've always been in charge of these center for ufology and so forth, because they know nothing really, but they pretend they know something, right? So they most of the information were covered up since 1933, the Magenta case north of Milan, and then also the Brazilian Roosevelt. So we have a lot of information that should be, maybe it's high time to disclosure, because people are not stupid. They start to understand that there are other forms of life. We are not alone in this universe. I mean, there are billions, millions, billions of galaxies around the world. So if you think we are the only one living on this galaxy, I mean, even, go and check maybe Star Wars. There were also some messages over there. We are not the only galaxy. We are a universe into this galaxy. But the question is, how can these beings travel from one universe to the other? But well, then I let's say I explained a lot via the quantum physics theories, but this is another topic and would be too long. So what I think Steven Spielberg wanna say, but we will check it out in June, is that we have to be prepared just to certain messages, right? That's what I could understand via this trailer. But on the other side, I do not trust Hollywood, which is well known to be an agency to, let's say, spread out certain messages, right? So could be true, it could be false, who knows? Just you have to make up your own mind. But we are living in very dark times for humanity, where there are wars all over the world. So I don't know, just imagine that somebody is attacked from the sky by something, and then, hey, it was an alien. So it would be too easy to convey wars, with the excuse of an attack. No, we know the false flags over centuries and over history. I don't really believe that, let's say, how come these information that were covered for decades in the most hidden places, and still are, in the Vatican, in your shadow government's archives, and the museums of, have you ever seen a piece of what fell in Magenta in 1933? No. So always remember that they will tell you what they want you to know, which is not necessarily the truth. So I doubt about everything, and but I believe that we are not alone in this universe, and anything that cannot be explained to me is true. Because if you cannot explain something, doesn't really necessarily mean that this something is not true. So I think that Hollywood remains Hollywood, and there are maybe interesting products, but I don't really think they will ever disclosure to humanity what is really going on, because this could create create havoc. It will destroy the established religion. What if we tell you that Jesus Christ never existed? It was a philosopher. I mean, how many millions of followers the Church of the Vatican in Rome, they have in the world. So this, if they tell you the real truth, if it's really a disclosure day, they would destroy the established religion, the established system, that would create chaos. So I'm not really sure that will disclosure a flying them, but for sure it will be a very nice, interesting Hollywood product like Close Encounter. Those who want to know the truth, like me, they deep dive since ever. So we don't wait and see what Spielberg has to tell us now, how many years later? But for sure, the message is interesting. It means that somebody was asking him to say something on the matter. So there is a little disclosure, but not a disclosure day, in my view. Right? When I will see the Vatican opening their doors for open days and let us read what they have in their archives, or, other museums in the States, that would be okay. I would believe it. So far, I'm a little bit doubtful, but wait and see until June. Bye.